Before we continue with today's session, it is so important that we do an acknowledgement of traditional lands. Royal Roads University acknowledges that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Kosapsan and Lekwungen ancestors and families. It is with gratitude that we now learn and work here, where the past, the present, and the future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff come together. Welcome.
Great. People telling us where they're coming in from.
Okay, I see somebody so far is joining from Calgary, where it's sunny, but still super cold. Okay, welcome.
Yeah. Also, since you've just done the traditional welcome, I'd like to say that we're about to be the only university in Canada, possibly in the world, that are located on Indigenous lands, because the Kosapsan and Lekwungen peoples are part of the treaty negotiations in which the grounds that Royal Roads University is on will be transferred back to their ownership.
Wow. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And just to confirm, everybody's in the right room today. We are talking about the Master and Master of Science in Environmental Practice. And we also are talking about the Graduate Certificate in Science and Policy of Climate Change. And with me today, I have Dr. Leslie King, who is the program head. And my name is Emara Angus, and I'm an education specialist.
Great. I see we have David Lloyd with us from View Royal. That's great. And it's cold in Calgary. Okay, carry on, Emara.
So today's agenda, we're going to go through an overview of the Royal Roads University experience. We're going to talk about the program and specific information. We're going to discuss the partnership that we have with Eco Canada, and we'll go through the application process. And we welcome your questions throughout the presentation. So feel welcome to use the chat at any point to ask your questions, or if you have any comments you'd like to add, feel welcome to use the chat function for that. And so Royal Roads University, you might actually recognize the top left image. That's Hatley Castle. We have an actual castle on campus, and it was the film set for X-Men and Deadpool. On the right there, you'll see an old growth trail network. We have some beautiful trails around campus. So you can go for walks if you're ever on campus visiting on trails, and it's beautiful. We have an overlooking an lagoon. So the bottom left image there, Esquimalt Lagoon, we actually overlook this migratory bird sanctuary, and it's absolutely beautiful to walk beside. And the bottom right is an ode to our online learning. We have been teaching and learning online here at Royal Roads for over 25 years. And we'll talk more about that. So I have a short video to play for you.
The faculty at RU are always willing to talk to you. They're always available for office hours. They genuinely care about the student experience, and they want you to succeed.
So the question.
A very short video.
It was a very short video.
That's great. Thank you.
So sometimes the question that we have is, you're coming in, you're wondering why explore Royal Roads University? Why would I go to this university? So really, we're unique and we've really been different since day one. And I'm going to talk more about that, and we'll be discussing it throughout today's session. But a brief overview is, here at Royal Roads, we have both standard and flexible admission. So what that means is that we see your life as a qualification. So we look at your whole experience, your career, your background, your goals, and that is part of what we look at as part of the admission process. So we'll just go into the details of our standard and flexible admission, but I wanted to mention we do have those policies. And here, profs who know your name. So we really do want to get to know you quickly. It's small cohort, so the profs at Royal Roads get to know you quickly, and it's important that we have that personal connection. And really that learning based on life. So there's not that division between theory and practice. It's really integrated into the learning. And you will make connections for life. So I mentioned it's a cohort model. So what that means is you're going through the program with other individuals in the class or the virtual class at the same time, and you will be making connections with these individuals for the rest of your life. They're going to be your network when you graduate. And we were really built differently from day one. We're also an Ashoka U Changemaker campus. So what that means is a designation for innovation and change making. And we really, really like to empower people to make positive change in the world. And so now I'm so pleased to invite Leslie to speak to the Master of Arts and the Master of Science in Environmental Practice. Welcome, Leslie, and she's going to introduce herself as well.
Thank you very much, Emara. My name is Leslie King. I am the program head for these programs. My interests lie mostly in environmental governance, and I've worked in Africa and the Arctic, as well as all over Canada and the US. I've spent most of my career designing new environmental programs, so I'm very proud of all of these programs, in spite of that rather wilted greenery there. Anyway, so today we'll talk about the Master of Arts and the Master of Science in Environmental Practice. These programs are fully online, and but in spite of the fact that they're fully online, they're very engaging. And when Emara was talking about connections for life, I'm always surprised by how much the students connect with one another as they go through the courses and remain connected for the rest of their lives. Most of the students are already working in the field, but some are not. And so those connections are very valuable. So these programs are really the first of their kind in Canada, particularly the Science and Policy of Climate Change, which I'll be talking about in a minute. But at the moment, I'll just be talking about the master's program. So it's 30 credits, part-time, extremely flexible program to accommodate the schedules of working professionals. So people who work, have families, have all kinds of other priorities. We accommodate them all. And the program is flexible both in terms of when you take the courses. You're only required to take one course a semester. So you can do the program as quickly or as slowly as you want to. It's also flexible in terms of the themes and the topics that you study. And so you can really tailor the programs to your own interests because the capstone courses are either a research paper or a practicum, which you can do on any topic that you choose. So in spite of that flexibility, the program is usually completed between mostly about 2.5 years. Most people finish in about 2.5 to 3 years, but anywhere from 2 to 5 years. Now, the really unique part about this program is that it aligns with the Eco-Canada occupational standards for the environmental sector. And so I really like that aspect of these programs. It keeps us real, keeps us connected to the employment sector. And it also prepares students for environmental certification. And so either the EPT, the Environmental Professional in Training, or the EP designation, the Environmental Professional. I guess that's it for the MEP, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. The next program is a program I just designed 2 years ago. It's in its second year of operation, and I'm about to teach the final course of the second cohort. I'm very excited about this program. Of course, you all know how badly needed it is. This is a graduate certificate that has 3 courses. Whoops, sorry. I've got a trigger here. There. Okay, it's 9 credits or 3 courses. This program, along with the MEP, the master's program, is delivered in partnership with Eco-Canada. We're responsible for the academic content, but Eco-Canada helps with the certification, with the promoting the programs, etc. It's entirely online. It can be either a standalone certificate or part of the master's program. So if you take the graduate certificate in Science and Policy of Climate Change, you can count those 9 credits towards your master's degree. And you can get that either at the end of the program, or you can register for the certificate at the beginning of the program. But either way, you end up with both credentials, both the master's and the certificate. And so that's a pretty good deal, I think. Courses are also available as electives in a number of programs at the university. I've had a lot of MBA students who are allowed to take a minor in this program. And so many of them take all 3 courses as part of their MBA. I've got a hair trigger on my laptop.
Do you want me to advance the slides? Because I know that sometimes they're jumping ahead.
Yeah, Emara, could you do them? Okay, so who is this for? Environmental professionals who are already working, or who have a degree in a different field and want to go into this burgeoning climate field. So it's for people who have undergraduate degrees and they want to. I think this is the most efficient way that you can earn a credential in climate change. And so I think that's why I'm so excited about this program. And so professionals in other fields who want to transition to climate careers, and there are a lot of you out there, I know, and also climate professionals who might not have been trained in climate change, so want to expand their knowledge and further develop their skills. It's also good for people who want the professional certification, et cetera, and move on up in managerial positions. And I particularly like this one because I've had a lot of people do this. Mid-career professionals who are considering a career change, or climate change, and are worried about climate change. And also I put graduates from international university environmental programs. And we occasionally get international students, but not so many in this program. I'd like more. Okay, Emara, could you switch the slide, please? Okay, so the certificate program is completed in less than a year. Starts off with a mandatory university-wide course, just a 2-week. It actually only takes a few hours to complete, if that, maybe an hour. And then you go into the first course, SPCC 614, which really gives you the science and impacts of climate change. But it's targeted for people who may not be scientists as well as scientists. And then the next course is about climate policy and governance. And the third course, which I'm particularly fond of, is about climate solutions. And this is an experiential course where students identify a placement with an organization, a community, a local government, a provincial government, an international organization, a First Nation, to help that organization implement climate solutions. So the students are both learning about what that organization is doing to address climate change and also helping that organization address climate change. So this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get hands-on experience in the climate field. Emara, go ahead. Yeah, so I want to say a couple of words about our partnership with Eco-Canada. Eco-Canada really keeps us real. It keeps us founded in the sort of job opportunities in the field. And you know, many of the jobs that you get after taking these programs, we don't even know about yet. They're emerging opportunities in the field. And there are many, many of those. And Eco-Canada keeps their finger on the pulse. So it's a great partnership. And I think the students benefit a lot from that partnership. Emara. So Emara, do you have something from Eco-Canada that you want to show? No?
I don't think I do. Do you have something that you'd like me to share from Eco Canada? I'm sorry.
No,
if I
no.
missed
Sometimes we show the Eco Canada little video, and
Oh.
but that's okay. So
You know what I'll do is I'll make sure to include it in the follow-up email so that everybody who attended today and anybody watching the recording can watch it that way.
Yeah, it's okay. I can do it. So, in case you don't know about sector councils, Eco Canada is one of many sector councils that were created 10 years ago to represent a sector of business and industry in Canada. And Eco Canada lasted. Many of them fell off, but Eco Canada lasted and very successfully up until now. So they are champions of careers of environmental professionals. So they help also to identify and address labor market gaps. And I always say that they're a little conservative about the future of jobs in this sector, because of course it's going crazy. There are so many jobs in this sector. Could you? Thank you. Yes, so this is what the future of environmental work. Now every 1 in 30 workers in Canada is an environmental professional. And they talk here about the openings and the job growth. And so they say that there will be this 233,500 net environmental job openings from now to 2029. This is what I always think they're conservative about, that about half of those will be environmental jobs. I think there are many more. But at any rate, I'm just making the point that this is a really fast growing field. And employers are begging for environmental competencies. Thanks, Emara. Okay, over to you, Emara.
Thank you, Leslie. And I saw that Ariadna popped the video in the chat,
That's
the
great.
Eco Canada video. So don't watch it now though, because you have to hear about how to apply, but watch it after this session.
Thanks, Ariadne.
Okay, so jumping in, I wanted to mention that all of the information around admissions and applications, we keep it all on the website. So that should be your go-to place for any deadlines, any requirements and all of that. But I will go through it today as well. So the key dates that you want to write down in your calendar, if you're interested in the master's, the next intake, so we do 2 intakes a year, twice a year, is September 5th, 2023. And the application deadline is this June, on June 5th, 2023. You don't have to wait for the application deadline to apply. You can start applying now. It's a rolling application. So absolutely, if you're ready to enter the program, get your application in now. And we also have another intake January 2nd, 2024, with a deadline for the application in October. And for the graduate certificate, that is a once a year intake. So you're looking at the January 8th, 2024 start date, and you would want to apply by October.
Could I just add something, Emara, about the deadlines? These deadlines are always extended. So don't take that as an invitation to drag your feet, but you know, we're very flexible about those deadlines, and often they're extended till about a month or 6 weeks before the entry into the program.
I work really well towards deadlines, so I never want people to tell me that they're going to be extended, or else it will mean that I'm
I know.
get it in on time.
But I don't want people to get to the deadline and then say, oops, I'm over the deadline, I can't apply. So
Of course.
it's a double-edged sword.
Totally is. And we that's on our website. If you're ever wondering if the deadlines change, you will get a notice from our team here, but also check the website because that's always the most up-to-date information. So how to apply? Talking about the website, you apply online through our website. So you start an online account. It's a small fee of $131. And this is the start of your application. And then you're going to want to submit supporting documents. So what this looks like is any official transcript from any past education or post-secondary. You're going to be submitting a detailed resume. So this is beyond what you would use maybe for a job application. We really want to get to know you. We want to hear about all your different experiences, your volunteer work, your membership associations, all of that and more. So I recommend checking out the website where we actually outline kind of the information we want you to include on your detailed resume. as well the personal statement of intent. So I recently applied for a program, and this was my favorite part of the application process, is writing my why, because that's really what this personal statement is. It's your why are you wanting to do this program? What are you hoping to achieve? What are your goals? What are you bringing to the program? And we outline how we want you to formulate that on the website too, but it really is powerful, because at the end of the time that I was writing my personal statement, I realized, yes, this is the right fit for me. This program is what I want to do. And so I really recommend kind of taking that time and try and enjoy the process. And also 2 letters of reference. So this can be academic and professional.
So
Leslie, is there anything you want to chime in?
Yeah, I also love the personal statement because it gives me so much more information and information about the motivation of our potential students. So that's wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Wonderful. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, we're different in how we approach things. So here at Royal Roads, we have standard admission and we also have flexible admission. So I'm going to go through that briefly here. So the standard admission is a 4-year or comparable undergraduate degree in a related field with a minimum GPA of a B from a recognized post-secondary institution, as well as at least 2 years of relevant work or volunteer experience. And applicants who meet the degree requirement, but not the GPA requirement, will be normally required to complete an academic writing and critical thinking course. And I have a feeling Carla is going to pop a link in the chat around that. So that's just a short course. And honestly, that's a great course to do if you haven't been in school in a while. It's a really good way to bring yourself up to speed of academic writing.
Yeah, I've heard it's a great course and students really appreciate it. And I just want to say a plug for our wonderful admissions advisors. I see that Carla's putting all kinds of great links into the chat here. So thank you very much, Carla. If you have any questions, contact our admissions advisors, who are fantastic and very friendly.
I agree with that entirely. So the flexible admission, so this is normally 6 years of relevant work experience or an equivalent combination of education and experience. You are required to complete the academic writing and critical thinking course. And if English is not your primary language, we do ask you to review our English language requirements on the website so that you can see what's applicable for you. And when it comes to applying, you don't have to choose standard or flexible. That's something that we do for you by looking at that comprehensive application package that you submit. So you don't have to select one or the other. And if you're also not sure, don't self-select yourself out if you're not sure if you fit the requirements. Connect with us, have a conversation. We can really look at your unique background and chat more with you about that. So services available for our students and people considering programs with us. I highly recommend at this point to check out financial aid and awards. There are awards available. And while you're in that process of planning to go back to school, check out to see if there's any awards that are a fit for you. You can even set up an appointment with our financial aid and awards specialist. So check that out on the website. We also have our enrollment services. So that is who Carla, she is an enrollment advisor with our enrollment services, and she is amazing. And our whole team is great at helping you narrow down the program options and finding a program that's the right fit for you and any other questions you might have. So don't hesitate to reach out. Email is a great way to do that. You can reach out at learn.more@royalroads.ca, or you can also contact them through the website.
I put my my email address up too, so.
Awesome. So we're a pretty small institution, so you can get in touch with us. We're real people. We're here to chat with you. We can connect you with alumni. We can connect you with students. So if there's any questions like that, don't hesitate. Reach out to us. We also have a blog, so you can check out our blog on the website. And I want to thank you for joining us. And I also want to offer the chance for any questions that you may have. You can pop them in the chat. And Leslie, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I just want to encourage you to ask me questions while you've got me here. I'm pretty busy, so this is a great opportunity if you want to know anything about any of those 3 programs, or for that matter, any programs in the School of Environment and Sustainability. So please do ask your questions. I didn't see any in the chat. Did you?
I didn't see any questions in the chat, but I wanted to ask a question I get a lot when I host webinars is if you could talk a bit more about what the cohort is like and what the time commitment of the program is.
Sure. Well, as I said, the MEP program usually is completed between 2 and 5 years. The normal time is about 2.5 years. This is not a cohort program. So students can choose courses that they want to take, so they don't necessarily take the same courses as everyone else. But the program does start with 2 required courses, an introductory course and on sustainability, and a course on research methods. And that's for the MEP, the Masters in Environmental Practice. The certificate is a cohort because the students start with 614 and then take 615 and then take the final experiential course. But other students can take one of those courses without getting the whole certificate. So we do have people coming in and out, but those students get to know each other pretty well. And in fact, the MEP students do too. And the courses are all virtual, they're online. You don't have to do anything synchronously in those courses. If there is a synchronous session, so for instance, at the end of the last course, I have a virtual conference that all the students present what they did in their placements. And that is synchronous, but it's never a requirement. You can always view the recording afterwards at your own leisure. So the course is very self-directed. You can, it's engaged, so you do engage with your fellow students and you engage with the instructors, but sort of on your own speed. I hope that answers your question, Emara.
Yes, thank you. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Any questions at all?
Don't see any questions right now. Maybe we just answered all of them in our comprehensive webinar.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us. It was great to see you all here. And I hope that you'll get in touch, and I hope to see you in these programs. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Leslie, and thank you to everybody in the room today. It was wonderful having you, and I will be sending this recording out by email. And if you have any questions, you can also reply to that email. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Emara. Thank you, Ariadne. Thank you, Carla. And thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye.